What's up everybody, Mo here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Ryze. Ryze is, in some people's opinions, the best deck in the game right now. A lot of top players just absolutely hate Ryze because of how polarizing he is, and what polarizing means is that every matchup is either an auto win or an auto lose, and people hate that. They hate the fact that at the screen where you get to see your opponent's deck when you load up, you kind of just have an idea of who's gonna win the game, like on average, who the super favorite player is, and it's either going to be the Ryze deck or not the Ryze deck. And a lot of people hate that. But the win rate on Ryze lately, I think it's been sub 50%. That's one of the main reasons why I'm making this video, is to kind of help you guys out, especially because on my Twitch streams, a lot of people have asked, like, oh, how do you play Ryze? I'm so bad at Ryze. How do you do this? So I'm here to help you guys out, hopefully, and let you guys, have the tips and have the secret sauce on how to play Ryze correctly. And also, I'm going to teach you guys how to kind of punish Ryze and tell you what its weak spots are. So that way, if you are tired of losing to Ryze and you want to beat him, these are going to be ways that you can beat him. But before we get into the video, I want to remind you guys that 68% of the people that watch my YouTube videos aren't actually subscribed to me. You do me a big favor, click the subscribe button, comment down below what your opinions are on Ryze. If you think, he's a perfectly okay card or okay deck to have, because it's like, oh, it's just a combo deck, keeps the control decks in check. Or if you're along the same thought process as a lot of people on Twitter, where they're like, no, deck's too polarizing, I hate Ryze, I either auto win or I auto lose, and it just depends on what type of deck you play. Again, me personally, I think he's like borderline unhealthy. I think he's not as bad as some people say. I think some people make it out as like he's this unbeatable crazy deck. And I don't think he's that, but it is very frustrating to see how polarizing he is, for sure. But that's going to be it for that. Let's get into the deck. We're going to go over what each card in the deck does and how to use it properly. And then I'm going to kind of give you Mulligan tips, the general play style of this deck, and then how to beat this deck, like your weaknesses. So this list right here was taken from Drizoth on ladder. He's rank, I think like 8 right now. Very, very up there. He's been top of ladder basically every time since he started playing ladder this season with Ryze, and he's been doing really well with this build. And so we're gonna look at it. It's a little bit unconventional. We see here as the sapling toss. It doesn't have any of the Fae, what is this card called? Tasty Fae Folk. So it doesn't have any of this card for anti-aggro. And yeah, and I basically don't know this, but I assume it's just because, like, oh, you're gonna lose to aggro most of the time anyway, so just like try and help out your mid-range matchups more. So yeah, 2 Jury Rig. 1 mana spells really, really good, especially when you're playing Claws of the Dragon. If you're not playing Claws, the 1 mana spells don't really matter as much, but because you're playing Claws, 1 mana spells really good. Because triggering that flow for the Claws at burst speed is really good, especially like 1 mana burst speed spells. It's very good, as well as, being able to get your drum solo online for turn 4 is very, very important. So being able to just go like, okay, turn 3, trinket trade, prank you or something, is like very, very important. Or like trinket trade, delve, is like delve in the past. It's very, very important to set up that drum solo on turn 4 when you're not ready to slam down a Ryze. Very good. So sapling toss here to kind of mitigate the aggro. It's kind of just like a 1 mana 2/1 that stops your opponent from attacking you, or you can use it to pull in and kill an enemy unit if you needed to do that. It's also just generally okay stall into mid-range decks. 2 Shroom Intelligence is actually like your best anti-aggro tool because of Spirit Fire. Also, Ruthless Predator makes your Dragonlings just nuts. So you get to heal for and, hopefully remove a very important unit on your opponent's side, like a Misfortune or, a Gwyn, anything like that. Shroom Intelligence helps you do that with Ruthless Predator. 3 Sisters, only 1. 3 Sisters is very mid. It's just like this anti-mid-range. Most of the time, I've actually been using it for Fury of the North on the Dragonling to make the Dragonling really big and kill something, either a fearsome blocker or just like really big overwhelm unit or something like that. Or sometimes you just need a big ass unit. And the Dragonling with Fury of the North is really good. And then obviously, Frostbite being very good against the OTK style decks. Trinket Trade, we kind of already went over this. 1 mana spell is good. Otterpuss is good. It helps you. This card triggers flow for 1 mana, which is very, very good. Again, it's really good on like turn 3 when you're needing to trigger your drum solo on turn 4, or it's even really good into aggro where you go like Eye of the Dragon turn 2, turn 3 you can trinket trade, and then boom, you already have your you already can start summoning Dragonlings, and you have an additional 1/1 blocker. So this kind of helps out with your aggro plan that's not against fearsomes, which is good. So if it gets anything but fearsomes, trinket trade's pretty decent into it. Claws of the Dragon, this is again your anti-aggro tool. You can burst speed out blockers, which is good. The 1 mana spells are very good with it. Just any type of cheap flow. Like this should just say flow. If you flowed with me in your hand, you get to, I mean, a flow is like previous turn, but this turn you just get a free 3/2 blocker, which is good. This helps you into the fearsome matchup because there's a fearsome blocker at burst speed, and just in general having blockers are good. 2 retreats because we want to play Ryze, that's why we're in mono Ryze. Eye of the Dragon, anti-aggro tool. Steel Tempest is general stall. Time Trick is your draw. Deny to deny big stuff. Stall, card draw, card draw. So all of your cards kind of fit into three parts. They're either your stall tools, your card draw tools, or your Ryze tools, like your win the game tools. And so that's kind of how you want to look at all of these cards and figure out how you're going to try to use them to accomplish your end goal of winning the game with Ryze. So all of these, you can look at like, okay, this can be stall, and then there's like, oh, Ryze game plan, oh, draw. And then so you have to kind of figure out when you're ready to go for the draw or when you're ready to have to try and stall. Most of the time, you're going to be drawing on your turn, or you could draw on the opponent's turn after your attack token turn, where your opponent isn't going to be able to kill you. Or if you're able to stall and you have mana left over, you can draw after your opponent's attack token. Typically try not to draw cards before they attack you, because you want your mana up to be able to stall, unless you like know exactly what your stall tools are and you know you have it covered no matter what. You're going to want your mana to kind of stall their attack, and then you're going to want to draw a bunch of cards, set up for your Ryze game plan. Stall their attack, draw a bunch of cards, set up for your Ryze game plan, stall their attack, and then start playing delves. And delve, and just like win the game on turn 7, turn 8. Style deal. So that's I think a lot of people are kind of just drawing too many cards and not leaving enough mana open to stall your opponent. And yeah, don't try and force out the flow with Eye of the Dragon if you don't need to, is another very big point. Flow is really good, but don't go out of your way to just like proactively play bad cards. I guess your cards aren't bad. Don't go out of your way to proactively play cards just to trigger flow. If your opponent is willing to skip on their attack token, most of the time, just like let them skip on their attack token. Or if their attack isn't threatening you, don't trigger your Eye of the Dragon just to do it. Just say like, hey buddy, like show me a reason to trigger my Eye of the Dragon. Otherwise, I'm going to keep my mana. Try and make your opponent threaten you, because if they're not threatening you, the longer the game goes, the happy you are. Especially if you have a Ryze in play, you are literally just getting stronger every single turn. So that's something that I think a lot of people kind of mess up on, is they just go like, oh, I must trigger flow. I have this Eye of the Dragon, or I have this drum solo, or this deep med in my hand. I have to flow for next turn, and you really don't. Another thing is you can also just play drum solo for 5 mana. Like if you didn't flow last turn, but you have like 10 mana in hand, just drum solo, man. Like you don't need the reduced cost. Like the reduced cost is nice, but you don't need it. I would rather spend 5 mana to just draw 2 cards than spend 0 mana, waste an entire turn, and not draw anything and not progress your game plan at all. So that's something you want to look out for too. So now we're going to go over this general mulligan guide. And so for the mulligan, basically, you're either going to mulligan one of 2 ways. You're either going to mulligan for just the find my combo, win the game, or you're going to mulligan for the anti-aggro plan is what I call it. And that's going to be like your Eye of the Dragon, your Claw, stuff like that. So you're going to want Eye of the Dragon and Claws against aggro or anything that could be kind of aggressive. You're going to want it to mulligan for just all of your draw spells and delves if you're against, and Ryzes, if you're against some sort of like control-y slow deck. You don't typically need Ryze or want Ryze on the mulligan if you're against a deck that can kill Ryze, like a Noxus deck, a PNZ deck, a Shadow Isles deck, anything that could just kind of like click on your Ryze and kill it on turn 4, you're not interested. Anything that can't really just kill Ryze on turn 4, like the Shellfolk Twisted Fate deck, like Kane Aatrox can't really just kill it on turn 4. Things that can't just like kill your Ryze on turn 4. Ryze is pretty good. Just being able to slam him on turn 4 and say like, hey guys, like deal with this card, or it's just gonna like progress my Ryze game plan, is pretty good. On top of that, usually you have a decent amount of save spells. We have like Unworthy Soul for 3 mana. You have Homecoming. There's some amount of denies. Again, you have this like Fury of the North if you need it. So all in all, not too bad of a game plan, just slam him on 4, but only against decks that can't kill him, or if your hand is just atrociously bad, or if your hand is just like triple Ryze. So I hope all that made sense. I know I threw in some clauses there, but if your hand is just like double or triple Ryze and you don't care if they kill it, you might as well just throw him out there, because like worst case scenario, they just like go spend their entire turn to remove him. in which case you have a second Ryze in your hand anyways. Best case scenario is you actually catch them with their pants down and they don't have a Vengeance, or they don't have a Flock, or they just don't have a way to kill Ryze on turn 4. And then now you're just getting like 4 extra delves for no reason. And they'll be able to kill them eventually most of the time in those decks, like probably even the next turn. But you still got 4 extra delves into your deck, which is absolutely absurd. And you should have a good chance of just like fighting all of them and winning the game even faster now. And then your weakness is Ryze, and the way to beat Ryze is basically aggressive board states. So Ryze is very good at stalling like a couple things per turn, especially in the mid game. They can mid to late game, they're stalling like 1 to 2 things per turn with their rune prisons and stuff. But early game, they really don't have any game plan to like stall things early outside of Eye of the Dragon. And then on top of that, they don't play hard removal spells. So if you can just like play fearsome units, is probably the best thing you can do, because not only do fearsome units get over the Eye of the Dragon itself, but it gets over the Dragon Link, which is really good. Jin Annie is also another very good one, where you just kind of check them for Eye of the Dragon on 2. If they have it, you probably can still win because you have stuns and can just stun the Dragon Link. And then if you don't have it, or if they don't have it, they just lose the game on the spot because they don't have their Eye of the Dragons into your super aggressive burn deck. So yeah, that's really how you're going to beat Ryze. It doesn't have to be like pure aggro decks. You can play things that are kind of like mid-rangey with a like aggro side of it, and just obviously hope to get that aggro side of it. And really all Ryze needs is just like develop into him and apply pressure. Stop open attacking into Ryze most of the time. Most of the time you can develop and get a lot more pressure into him. There's sometimes where developing into Ryze is bad, like if they have rune prisons they can activate like super late game. That's not good. But a lot of times people are afraid to develop into Ryze because we have this like Ionia PTSD of like, oh, they're going to concussive palm me. They're going to do all this stuff like and punish me for developing. But Ryze decks just don't play that. They don't play units to develop to block you. They play like rune prisons, and that's just about it. So it really comes down to, do you think they can activate or do crazy stuff with rune prisons? If yes, go ahead and open attack. But if no, which most of the time it's no, just develop into them. Develop more threats and just get crazy and just try and hit them and apply pressure. If you don't apply pressure to Ryze and you just let them sit there with infinite mana and infinite spell mana, then they're going to be able to just like use that mana on card draw and eventually draw their way into a win. So you really, really have to pressure their mana and just be aggressive and have, you know, board presence constantly. So that's going to be it for this intro. It's kind of long, but this deck I feel like needs to go really in depth because, again, this deck is very, very strong, and a lot of top players think it's like the best deck in the game, yet it's still wielding like a 47-48% win rate. So yeah, that's I wanted to try and help you guys out with this. So that's gonna be it for the intro. Let's play some games. All right, so here we're against Caitlyn, Nora Traps. So the Puff Caps is actually a not good matchup for us. We'll do something like this because we actually draw so many cards, and they play entrapment, and they just want to entrapment the runes. Let's see here. So if they do that, we're actually in a really not good spot. So that's why this deck kind of looks memey, but if you see it, you're like, oh, that deck sucks. It's a meme deck. It really has like a decent chance to be okay. But we do have our Eye of the Dragon, so we have our anti-aggro plan here, so we can stem some of the bleeding. This block seems okay. Probably not the greatest, but if they spend a bunch of resources to kill this, I don't particularly care. I'm sure I'm getting like flash bombed eventually, and Eye of the Dragon will eat a flash bomb. Is probably what their plan is. So let's see here. Yep, no. Oops. Let's grab Outer Puss. Ionia Telstones also could have been a good consideration to heal up the Eye of the Dragon. But I think this is okay. It gives me a chance to see what their hand is. We still don't have any of the delves yet, but we're about to activate our drum solos, so we're okay. So Bandle City Mare. So this could just be like a kind of Nora control deck more than anything. -2 power. All right, we'll make their Zane Urchin just not a unit. Pass. And we have our Eye of the Dragon here, feeling pretty good. So yeah, so a lot of things about this deck that you have to kind of remember. Oh, nice. We have Unworthy Soul to break this weapon. Scout's like the best thing they can get, but we can just pass here. Yeah, let's go ahead and time trick actually, because I want to activate this drum solo and I don't want to just hard pass for no reason. We'll skip. We're just looking for delves. And yeah, we were just trying to, or we're gonna play this to see if we get the mana delve. We did, so we're in a huge advantage. Anytime you hit mana delve, your odds of winning automatically just skyrocket. If you hit anything but mana delve on your first one, it can get kind of awkward. But hitting mana delve on your very first rune is really good. We'll do this. Yeah, they're being really aggressive here. They're being very aggressive, but it's okay because we have stall here. We can do something like this, break the weapon, recall that so they don't get a portal, and we're kind of chilling. You know, we take a little bit of damage, but we're activating our Dragonling. We're going to get some dragons. Next turn also, again, we have this drum solo cooking up, so we have enough mana to where if we draw into a delve, oh no, we're not, we're one short with the delve. So let's go ahead and swing, get our 2 HP. I was saying if we had a delve, we could immediately play it, but I lied. Let's see if we do get something we can immediately play. Entreat is cool, so let's go ahead and just do that. Again, just to trigger flow. So that way we can get the drum solo trigger next turn, or Eye of the Dragon trigger next turn. I'm sure this is going to get like Pokesticked or something, but we're still not in like the worst spot either way. Manifest a Mechaeortal, granted spell shield. Okay, cool. My Eye of the Dragon is alive here, which is very good. Which is very, very good. That means that we can stem the bleeding even more. We're about to slam a Ryze next turn and be happy about that. What are you discarding your Squeaker? So, okay, so this is just kind of like a aggro style deck. Maybe they put in the Caitlyn just to throw us off. But this deck definitely looks a little bit more aggressive than I thought originally. So, I like playing a burst speed spell here before we get Claws of the Dragon, see if we get another burst speed spell. We did, so we can go ahead and just pass here. This is spell shield unit. It's going to pull in our Eye of the Dragon. And then just Nora attack? No, everything's attacking. Okay. So let's do this. Let us go ahead and time trick here. We don't want any of these. Actually, Eye of the Dragon isn't bad. Again, helps us stem the bleeding because this is an aggressive style deck. And we'll just put out this block here. Put out this block here. Play Eye of the Dragon, get another dude. And then now we get to play Ryze and just kind of have Ryze chilling. And then this will get us enough delves. So let's do this first to get a delve. Which one are we going to get? Rune Prison. Rune Prison is fine. And we get all of our spell mana back because very balanced rune. We have double deny, which I don't really know how useful that's going to be in this matchup. Like maybe it can deny any type of burn, maybe it can deny like a Katarina later on, but I'm starting to think this really isn't a trap deck and it's more just like a okay, that's gonna discard the flamey chompers. Sure. 1 2 3 4 5. Actually, if you do that, you're gonna just not have the, yeah, you're just losing out on a flame chompers, which is pretty weird. Okay, well here is this. I see. So yeah, so they're just manifesting a bunch of like Mechaeortals to level up the Nora. That's pretty funny. Okay, and we are going to go ahead and cast this Ryze's Realm, or just so that way we can get our flow. That way we can get to the flowing. We have Rune Prison, which is fine. Can stop like Nora from hitting us. Again, this is probably just going to pull in the Eye of the Dragon. We drew triple Eye of the Dragon, which is pretty good. Oh gosh. Okay. So attack two summon things. That's probably okay. We can just recall that with Unworthy Soul. And not worry about it too much. Let's see what they got here. Pokestick. That's not very cool of you. Actually what we can do is just Spirit Fire here. Which is pretty big. I'll probably just end up doing that. What you got? 2 power Porobot. Okay. What did it get? It got faded. Sure. So yeah, we can just pass. And we have Spirit Fire. Weesh. Just pretty good. That is pretty good. And Spirit Fire will save us a lot of HP here. Portapalooza? Okay. They're trying to get like a big unit here. They did get a big unit. Got a 4/5. Okay, so now the Spirit Fire is looking very mid. Like, it's not looking like it actually does too much here. It'll still save us a decent amount of health. So it's probably still just the best action. Let me see here. I believe it's still the best action. So we can do this. Let's go and Spirit Fire. So it saved us quite a bit of HP. This will die now, which is good. They don't actually lose too much of their board, which is kind of upsetting. And unfortunately, we were kind of drew double deny really early on, which has been pretty rough for us. But we do have this third eye of the dragon to kind of help us stabilize, maybe. Kill off some of this stuff here. Let's see what we got here. We're still flowing. Hopefully we're going to draw some Ryze Rune Prisons. Okay, Drum Solo can get us there. Drum Solo gets us there every time. Nope. Okay. Wow. That is very not good. That is very not good. That was a very good hit off of their Nora portal. Okay, I don't really know what to say. I think I'm just gonna have to recall that so I have a blocker. Yeah, let's go and just recall this so I have a blocker. And then we'll just have to stun the Nora when she attacks. Oh no. I mean, let's just go ahead and recall this also. So again, they just have to do some crazy stuff. I could have recalled the Nora, so that way if they flip out portals, it's not like really big stuff. That's also something I could have done. We'll see how much we get punished for it. If they immediately flip out 2 portals and they're like really big units, then big punished. Yeah, that's not too big of a punish. Okay. Hopefully nothing too crazy. 5-4. Okay. Oh my lord, this person drew triple Nora? They've played 4 Nora portals so far. Okay, but yeah, fearsome is a pretty good keyword. I don't actually think there's much we can do about the fearsome keyword. Let's go ahead and draw some spells here. Surely we draw some type of stun spell. Surely we draw some sort of something. Wow. Okay.
Why won't you listen?
Okay. I mean, we're alive here, right? Which is the good thing. The good thing is we're alive. Yeah. So this is fine. We're alive. We get to sapling toss, and we can try and pull the Nora next turn before they flip out a whole bunch of portals. And yeah, this is okay. So let's go and sapling toss, and we might actually be able to win next turn, which is crazy. Might actually be able to win. Oh, nice. We have lethal. We have lethal, I believe. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and grab this. I'm getting kill off the Nora. Oh, no, we don't have lethal. We're going to be like 1 mana short of lethal. Another Portal Palooza? Jesus, man. How many Portal Paloozas has this person played against me? They've legitimately played 5 Portal Paloozas. That is insane. Okay, but yeah, we're not gonna have enough to actually win this turn. So we can kind of just do our best. So that was pretty unfortunate. Okay, that -2. We can just find a Ryze. These fearsome units are really the problem. Or really just this fearsome unit, but we have a Rune Prison now to stall it out. Now the issue is we just don't have board space. So let's just try and find some stall here, because like I said, we know we can't actually win this game this turn. Let's go and do this. Let's try and gain some life. Let's go and gain some life. Let's kill off a unit here. And of course, they're just going to play like Reckoner. But we can like homecoming something, which is nice. Okay, that's fine. We can do this. Yeah, we can do this, and then we have Homecoming. We can Homecoming a landmark and then replay it. So we do like, it doesn't really matter which landmark. We'll bounce the 6-6. Actually, we'll bounce the, bounce the 6-6 because it gives us a blocker. So we can just room prison this. And then trigger everything again. Get all our spell mana back, kill off another unit. So now their open attack is just not as good. I'm going to go ahead and play this just so that way I can have a higher chance of drawing another stun or something. Now let's see what happens here. Because if they just open attack, we're not dead. Yeah, definitely not dead, especially with that draw. Caitlyn. Okay, so now that opens us up to actually draw into another Homecoming or something, which is good. Shroom and Telestones is very good. I think that might actually get us there again. We definitely don't need to delve into the past, so we'll grab this. We'll see what they play. So, yeah, Ryze is very good at these type of situations. Caitlyn's Peacemaker. I think I'm just going to make this guy very big. And just, like, deter them from attacking me. Because now if they try to attack me, I'm going to gain 5 life. You know? So let's see what they do. Baboon. Okay, and they're gonna just drag it with Flame Chompers. I see, I see. Okay, so what can we do here? I think we can... So he's gonna pull that to the very end. This blocks a 5. 3, 6, 10, 15. We stun that. 3, 6, 10. We need to gain 1 more life, which we currently cannot do without playing Ryze. Or no, we can play Weight of Judgment, actually. So yeah, we can just Weight of Judgment, kill off the Flame Chomper, and then we still have mana, or obviously mana. It's 0 mana, right? So yeah, so we kill the Chompers, and now we're just like big chillin'. Can't really lose. And Ryze has stolen another game. Look at Ryze go! So yeah, we can just like block everything basically. We basically just block everything. Block, block, stun. We take 2 whole damage. I don't want to kill this, give them a random epic to high roll their way out of this game. Yeah. And then this is going to give us our last delve, and then we have Ryze, and we're chilling, you know. We have deny backup, so we're going to do this. Draw a card. Activate everything. Yep, nice flash bomb. And yeah, play Ryze, and there you go. We win the game. So you just have to be very calm. Try and find the best way to save as much HP as possible. We did kind of roll into triple Eye of the Dragon, which is nice. But yeah. Sometimes you just get there, you know. We could say that we also low rolled and opened with 2, you know, denies and sat here with 2 dead cards in our hand the entire time. It depends on how you want to look at it. But I will stand this madness a little longer. Very, very close game. Yeah, they almost got me with that aggressive discard deck. I was not expecting it, so I didn't try to keep Eye of the Dragons or anything. If I would have known it was an aggressive discard Mecha Yordle style deck, then I would have kept the Eye of the Dragons or mulliganed harder for Eye of the Dragons to try and find a way to stem the bleeding a little bit. Okay, TDG players, so they're on Katarina, Annie, Ezreal. So this matchup is typically pretty good because they can't really pressure you enough. So we're going to get rid of all of this stuff because you can't really play Ryze early against this deck. And we're just going to look for the, we're just going to look for a rune for some delves. We're just going to get delving, you know. Ryze is fine to play if you have like a bunch of save spells for him, but we don't. This hand overall is not very great. Ideally, you have some amount, like you have at least 1 delve on turn 3. Either both of this game and the last one, we didn't have delve on turn 3. We actually didn't get delve until pretty decently late into the game. But Conservatory, that card can also be an issue. But we'll be okay, I think. Yeah, so this is kind of rough. So we can do this. And maybe if they play some sort of amount of mana, flock. Okay. That's fine. I can pass. pass. There is the Ravenous Flock. I don't think we can really do much about that. Yeah, I think we just gotta say okay. Yeah, so they have to try and be as aggressive as possible, because if the game goes on really long, then we just kind of win. But if the game does hit this stall, then we can end up winning if the game stalls out. So we are going to pass, because we have this Frostbite here, and then next turn we can Shrima Tellstones. We're gonna flash freeze this. Threaten to kill it. Honestly, this would be a great time to just kill the 3-2 and not take a bunch of damage. But this at least forces out some amount of action here. This is fine. Their Annie's gonna level next turn. There's not much we can do about it. So we're gonna go ahead and swing and force them to have a spell or trade off into the 3-2, and either one of those is fine by me. We're taxing their mana a whole lot here. We're taxing their mana a whole lot here, which is like kind of good, because you see they only have 3 cards left in their hand. There's a chance they actually can't kill this Ryze, and because I have second Ryze anyways, I'm down to just kind of play it. I'm down to just play this Ryze and tell them to do something. And then if they try to put damage on it with something like that, I think I'm just going to deny. And not let them flock me or disintegrate me or something. Yeah, Mystic Shot, that's fine. The last card in there has to be Flock, and then like I said, we have this Ryze here anyways, so we've basically gotten them down to where they only have like 1 card in their hand and then this stuff, and then we can stall this stuff out and be okay. There's our Delve, so that's pretty nice. So Lord Broadmane, let's see here. I don't know if there's anything we can actually do about that. So first things first, when you're in these situations, is I want to see what type of Delve I get, because I have the mana for it. Again, deal 2 Delve is like typically okay, because it can start trying to remove this stuff, but overall it's not great. So I think it's fine. I think it'll help us stall. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that one. We are going to lose our Ryze, but I think that's okay, like I was saying earlier. And then yeah, we can, I don't want to play this yet because we need to stun and stuff. So let's go ahead and, so this is actually 4 damage. So this is more damage than the Broadmane is. So we're going to go ahead and block off, what are we blocking off? Probably the Broadmane. And we'll just stun this, and this will save us the most HP. We could probably go here, but our Shrima Tellstones kills this anyways. So we can do this and start setting up to try and get this stuff to die. And we are very far behind because, again, we've seen 1 landmark so far, and it wasn't even really the one we want. But it's okay. I mean, we ran our opponent out of cards. There really isn't much else we can do. We can deep med and try and hit a better rune. Let's see. If we do this, we go down to 5 mana. We have to go down to 3 mana. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we go down to 1 mana. So we can't even play 2 landmarks this turn anyways if we draw it in that way. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it and see what we draw. Entry and Homecoming is not really what you want to see. So let's go and just do this. Put the Annie to 1 HP, and then it'll die to Shrima Tellstones. We're probably just going to die to this, like, tie bulk. If I had to guess. Yeah. Because, like, yeah. They just got, like, a really nice hand where they leveled Annie super early. I just don't have anything to deal with it. Like, I don't have my stun cards. I don't have my recall cards. I don't have anything really to deal with it. I didn't see a landmark until turn 7. So games like those, you kind of just lose, and that's fine. Like, you have to acknowledge when you just kind of lost, and, you know, these games where, can we ever save ourselves here? So this is 2, 4, 6, 8 HP, which is not enough. Yeah. And like I said, you know, sometimes you just lose. Like, sometimes you just have hands like this where you don't have any stall at all, and you're just very sad. Yeah. Very frustrating, but it's what it is. You have to remember that your deck is pretty broken most of the time, and sometimes you just draw poorly. And it is what it is. So that's always something to remember with these combo decks, is that if you do draw very poorly, like even in good matchups, like that matchup for us is very good, but opponent had like the exact hand they need to win, and then we had absolutely no way to stall out. We drew no rune prisons early. If we had rune prisons early, like the deal 2, if you ever get the deal 2 one against Annie Cat early on, you just win, because you just kill their Annie on the spot on turn 3, and then you can just kill Katarina, and then they can't play the game ever, and that is just not a game from that point on. But, you know, like you saw, we hit no runes, we hard mulligan for it, and it is what it is sometimes, and you just can't get upset because you know that your deck is stupid and you're going to auto win your next like 4 games. All right, so we're against Nora. So Nora TF, this is the like Shellfolk 4LW pile. This deck I think is the most represented deck in top 8. They don't actually have a way to kill off Ryze, so I'm gonna keep Ryze so we can just slam him on turn 4. So another game with no rune prisons. Wow, we've gotten very unlucky in not having delves in our opening hand. Yeah. Very, very unlucky not having delves in our opening hand so far. You play 6, so if you hard mulligan for them, you should see like 1 in your opening hand most of the time. At least 1. I've seen, obviously I've started with like 2 in my opening hand often, but very crazy that we haven't seen 1 in our mulligan yet out of 3 games, but it's okay. This deck doesn't apply a bunch of pressure early or anything, so we should be okay. Yeah. And like I said, they don't have a way to kill Ryze, so we can just slam Ryze on 4 and be fine. I think these decks might play Minimorph, but we have second Ryze anyway, so who cares? And we'll just keep passing here. Yep. Not too worried about anything. We'll see if we get our, a delve by turn 3. We do, so we're gonna hope it's mana delve. Mana delve is cool. Nice. They missed out on the mana delve, so get wrecked. I assume they hit my deep med. Yep. Okay, that's fine. Plus delve, see if we hit mana delve. We do not. We hit the draw card delve though, which is pretty okay. Which is pretty okay if you ask me. So we hit Trinket Trade. We'll obviously play the one they know about. And then this will set us up for flow. But we're probably just going to be slamming our Ryze down anyways. And I want to be able to try and prank the Shellfolk and try and make it like 6-8 or like 8 mana. Like make their Shellfolk expensive. That's the best roll we could get. If we can't do that, we might be in trouble because we also don't play like a bunch of hard removal. So we don't actually have a way to hard remove the Shellfolk. So they are going to get a lot of value, but that isn't like a super aggressive line they can take or anything. Syncopation is pretty decent, but we don't have any other units in play. Like we would have to wait till we get this Trinket Trade down and then start syncopating. But like I said, I don't think they have ways to really deal with us anyways. So we're just gonna slam down Ryze. Not much they can do here. They can Minimorph if they want to, but we already got our 2. We already got our 2 extra runes, or delves, sorry, and then I'll have a 3/3 and I'll just start attacking with my 3/3. And we will become the beatdown. We will be Ryze beatdown. Portal Palooza, sure. Sounds good to me. We'll pass, no reason to attack. Attacking with level 1 Ryze doesn't do anything. Put more runes in here. Or sorry, delves, I keep calling them runes. But people tell me that, Mo, they're not runes, they're delves. Alright, second Trinket Trade. So that kind of tells me that this player is either not too familiar with how to play the Shellfolk deck, or they just don't have a Shellfolk in their hand. Okay, so yeah, so it tells me that they're just not very familiar with how to play the Shellfolk deck, because typically you want to keep the, you want to keep those burst speed things in your hand for whenever you play Shellfolk on 6, because then you're just able to go like, oh, here's Shellfolk on 6, burst speed out a bunch of stuff. So we'll pass here, because we're going to burst speed out this clause when they attack. Okay. We got this. Entreat's fine. Otterpuss is really just what we're looking for. So we do this, do this, do this. And I'm even down to like Steel Tempest and Aura, but we just don't need to. And we hit the Shellfolk, but we always like to give it -1 power or something, which isn't something that really matters to us. We really just want to try to increase its mana cost, if we can do that. So that's why I increased the Mind Meld's mana cost, because it makes it so we die less quickly. Burble +2 is kind of irrelevant, so we'll just go ahead and Trinket Trade up, so that way, if they want to Shellfolk, they can only do one thing at burst speed. And we do have 5 mana deep mid. Woo! Let's go! Alright. Let's go ahead and 5 mana deep mid. Alright. Nope, no delves. Cool. So we'll go and Eye the Dragon here. We'll play Eye. That is a Shellfolk. I mean, kind of is what it is. Yep, you can get some recalls, but don't really matter. Recalling my Ryze could matter, but like Steel Tempest like literally doesn't matter. Having 3 mana Homecoming is fairly annoying. I also just hate Shellfolk as a card. I wish this card was like never invented. I could go on a whole like video long rant on why Shellfolk should not exist in the state it does. Like every time we've had a Shellfolk deck, it's just been the most annoying, stupid shit that we've ever had. And the fact that this card doesn't just have a limit of how many times it can do its stupid shit is so silly. Like, in my opinion, this card should say, like, the first 3 times you randomly select, or, like, getting an Otterpuss off of this shouldn't count because you're manifesting an Otterpuss or 2 random things, and the Otterpuss isn't random. And this is when you pick a randomly selected option. So, like, I think that should be nerfed. That shouldn't work. But, you know, is what it is. I think I'm in the minority amongst top players that Shellfolk is a problem. But, yeah, I very much don't like Shellfolk. So we're actually just going to, like, do this. They could have Pokestick if I do it that way. Let's just bounce our landmark back. We're just going to bounce Shellfolk and, like, try and get them to not get a bunch of value on stuff. If they use their own Homecoming here to stop this Homecoming, I don't think I particularly care. Yeah. So now we're just gonna get double pranked here. If they prank and hit this, I'll be kind of sad, but they don't, so. Okay. We'll draw a card. If we had mana delve also, we'd be in a much better spot here, but we just don't have mana delve. We don't have deny for this mind meld either, so if they mind meld us, we could just like lose potentially. Yeah, we'll see. We have this Tellstone. We do have another delve, so we just have to see how many things we get hit by. Okay. Sounds good. They discard him. I get a free blocker there, but they didn't want me to have it. That's kind of rude of them. That was kind of rude. So, nice. Hit my Steel Tempest probably. Maybe hit the Tellstones because the Tellstones like kind of board wipes you. But didn't hit my Delve, which is what matters. Yeah, they hit the Tellstones because the Tellstones is like a board wipe. Nora, I mean, you are going to level this Nora. That is something you're going to do. But again, there's not too much I can really do about that. We don't hit our flow here, so if we top deck Drum Solo, it's going to be kind of awkward. Okay, this was a really good roll off of the portal, because if I get the deal 2 damage one, usually I can use that to try and clear out their little units, but this thing doesn't take damage from it, so kind of awkward. Yeah. So we'll just heal our guys up. Let's see if we can get the spell mana one first. Okay, we got the spell mana. So let's go and get some spell mana. Okay, pretty good stuff. And I think we're going to attempt to swing with Ryze to activate him this turn. They could prank us if they wanted to. They also did get a Tellstones of their own. I think they're going to try to mind meld us next turn though, and we just like don't have an answer to that. Okay, that's fine. So we can entreat, because I really just want like cards. Oh wait, we can try and kill this off though. Let's Ruthless Predator. Now let's go ahead and just get rid of this. Heal up our Ryze some so he doesn't die. Our Ryze levels, which is Pog. And then, yeah, we can try to kill off this Shellfolk with the Ruthless Predator. I don't think it'll work if they have, like, any amount of damaging spells. But we can try. We'll at least try. And they don't actually have a way to kill my Ryze, which is very good here. We get to draw another card and heal another 2 And we have like triple stun to try and not die to this mind meld. So only one thing can hit us, so we can stop 4 and then block obviously like 2. Nice, so Steel Tempest is whatever. Dang. So now they have a way to kill off our Ryze. Pretty lame. Pretty lame stuff. Or sorry, not a way to kill off our Ryze, but they have a way to stop the Ruthless Predator. But it's okay. I think we're going to go for it anyways here. Still just full swing. Still full swing because we want to trigger all of this stuff. We want to heal our Ryze up. We want to draw cards. And then I don't care if this Ryze dies because we have... Sorry, we have Entreat. We can just get another one. We have Entreat, so we can just get another one. They do have like 1 mana Steel Tempest in their hand if they want to use that here. Which I'm sure they will because Shellfolk players love their Shellfolk card. That's fine. We kill off the Petricite. I wish they would have like killed something off here so that way I can get my Dragonling. That would be cool. Yeah. Leveled Nora. But yeah, these matchups are just very long and very boring. Like, I basically just have to sit here and hope to draw my cards, and then the Shellfolk player sits there and plays the Shellfolk game. Deep Med. Okay, so we're casting another 5 mana Deep Med next turn. I hope opponent realizes that doesn't matter, but they're just doing it for their sake. So they have 2 Deep Meds in their hand and a Shurima Tellstone. So 3 of their cards is 2 Deep Meds, Shurima Tellstones. I kind of lost track of everything else. But they're definitely going to hit this with a Shurima Tellstones. I don't think I care. Unless they, yeah, they could Deep Med. Or sorry, not Deep Med, Mind Meld here. We can try and find Deny. But we have 4, 8, 10, 12, exactly 12 mana to stop, like I said, 4 things. Which is fine. Yeah, so this is fine here. Because we're not dead, ever. Which is good. There's a chance we're supposed to, like, Homecoming, and then we can delve and get an extra blocker. But all in all, it's pretty fine. We don't even have to use our... Homecoming, which is pretty nice. So they should have a way to stop this. They should just Ruthless Predator here to kill my Ryze, but I mean, I have Homecoming, so it doesn't really matter what they plan to do. So I can just go like Homecoming stun, live at 5. Let's see what they do. Cool. Yeah, so we just go like block, block, recall, stun, live at 5, be happy. Live at 5, be happy. Get to play Ryze down a second time to get more runes or more delves into the past. Let's see. And if they have like a trick or something crazy here, we do have another Steel Tempest. Like if they think they have enough burn and they go to like Ruthless Predator here to push more damage or something, we have Steel Tempest number 2. Which is a-okay. So this is a game where we did draw a decent amount of our stall and some runes. But again, if they can't kill Ryze, if it's a deck that can't kill Ryze, slamming Ryze on 4 makes this deck just so strong. And I think our opponent just kind of left because they realized they can't kill us. So we're just going to go ahead and play our Ryze again, try and get another delve, because we're only one delve off of just kind of winning the game. We'll see what they want to do. Okay, so I'm going to just pass. Don't need to do anything crazy here. This will hopefully find us a delve. Who knows? We just naturally draw into a delve, I'll be happy. So we can delve. Let's draw into probably just Rune Prison at this point, because we just want more stall. More stall. And draw a card off of here. And delve. Nope, not a delve. Okay, so I don't actually know what higher odds are of Deep Med or Realm Warp to get us there, Probably just Realm Warp. Drawing the extra card at this point with how many cards are in our deck, probably just the Realm Warp. Nice, Realm Warp got us there. Oh my god, wait, what did I even put Puff Caps in my deck? I'm dying of Puff Caps. That's fine, we're gonna heal some more. We're gonna kill off a 1/1. And probably win the game. If they have ways to like recall my Ryze here, doesn't matter because I just play second Ryze. And yeah, and we got there through this very annoying shuffle game plan. You just kind of have to do your best to keep cool. Honestly, this is more of a deck guide on how to keep your composure when playing. These Ryze decks can be very, very frustrating to play, and it can constantly feel like things are going wrong for you. But you just have to keep calm and try and stall the best you can, make the most out of every mana you can, and then this deck will just find ways to win. So that's something we saw in game 1 where we were pretty far behind overall, but we just kept cool. We kept our cool the whole game, and we ended up stealing that win. Last game, we didn't have that, but we didn't let last game tilt us, and then now we're able to go into this game winning. You know, we didn't start a single game with a Delve in our hand, and look, we're still 2-1, so we're still pretty happy. You just can't get frustrated at the games that go poorly. If you feel very frustrated or something, just take a break, come back, and then play again. So we'll do one more with this Ryze. All right, so we're against Teemo Jax. So not too familiar with this deck, but I assume it's gonna be some sort of aggressive deck. We can probably be okay. I'm just gonna full Mulligan for Eye of the Dragon and some Delves. No Delve here. Ryze, I assume they can't actually kill Ryze outside of Fish Fight. Cool, we hit our Eye of the Dragon. No cheap spells. If we draw like a Trinket trade, we are big chilling with this type of hand. Nice. So our hand kind of made itself. I am going to play my Eye of the Dragon out here on turn 2. No need to save for a Delve. I think we're kind of just fine. Heroic Last Stands. Yeah, buddy. So let's see what we got here. Time Trick is okay. If they play any unit here, I'm down to just Trinket trade. But we can actually like randomly be an aggressive deck here, which is kind of funny. But really, okay, no quick attack, and we're chilling. Okay, nice. Well, let's go and do this. Oh, Noxian Telstones is pretty nice because it can give us ways to kill things, which is pretty funny. Like, we can actually kill the Jax here, which is really funny. So we're going to actually do that. So we're going to grab this Telstones. We're going to pass. We're going to burst speed the Telstone into Claws here. So burst speed, Whirling Death. And we are going to Whirling Death the Jax. And we're just going to get rid of this Jax here. We're kind of chilling. And then we just get to kind of slam Ryze and be happy. We can't really slam Ryze into this because, again, this has Fish Fight. And Fish Fight's not very good for us. If they go under Fish Fight, man, I'm down to slam Ryze and just get a couple extra Delves. Especially if they just, like, play this onto their unit so they can block. Yeah. Like, that makes me happy. I'm okay with that. Let's see what happens. Because now the biggest thing, too, is that it just isn't killing my Ryze, which is nice. So let's just full send it here. Force opponent to do something. They can go, like, block Eye of the Dragon, play a pump spell or something, but I don't really know what pump spells this region could be playing. So we're going to let them play out a card. Nice. We can go ahead and Ryze here. Ooh, that's pretty rough. So maybe we don't Ryze. Maybe we just try and find a way to trigger flow. Delve is good. Delve is good. So we are going to trigger the flow. And Rune Prison would be nice. Deal 2 is also really nice because they're going to open attack. We can just go block, deal 2, kill this, and be very happy. And this is basically also why this deck just absolutely smokes Jax Ornn. Because the same issue of they usually just play a few like large units, large threats, and we just sit here and go like stun, recall, stun, oops, I win the game because you don't have interaction. Or you play like 3 cards in your entire deck that are interacting with me. And with this Teemo like Bandle City version, I really don't know what they could be playing, and if it's not just like a Bandle Tree cheesy style deck. Sure. So we're gonna block, like we said. We're just gonna immediately deal 2 here. Yep, and kill off their singular threat. And they're just gonna have to constantly like have another threat and have another threat and have another threat. And if they don't have a threat, we're just kind of happy, you know? Catch? Sure. Okay. Fine by me, man. Like, that looks good to me. We force them to have interaction. They could fish fight here. If they fish fight this, I'm actually, like, really happy. Yeah. I'm actually really happy with that. Because that means they're not fish fighting my Ryze. So, we can go ahead and pass here. They have to swing, so they're going to equip probably the 3-2 weapon, I would assume, and hit me for 5. Yep. And we're just going to deep med. Next time we're just going to drum solo and probably just be able to stall. Let's see what we draw here. Nice. Yeah, so we'll be able to just stall out here. So drum solo, hopefully into some delve. That would be cool, even though it wouldn't really hit anything. We're just going to do one of these. Oh, nice. These are all some pretty good cards. So let's see what we draw for this. No delve. We got an entreat and a jury rig. And a deny, though, which is pretty big. We're probably just going to take the entreat. And we triggered flow, so this is going to kind of put pressure on them to do something. They're probably going to equip this upcycle drake, maybe? Pretty good. Okay. Let's go and do this. And pass. And we have Unworthy Soul, so if they do equip the scout weapon, I'm down to just, like, recall and destroy the scout weapon. Their Jax is leveled because they have done quite a bit of damage here. I also would like to draw a rune. If we drew a rune, like this scout attack is really bad because if we drew a rune, we just play it and then immediately kill this thing. Oh, that's pretty cute. That is pretty cute. We do have Shrima Telstones as also an option here, which like I'm not totally against. Let's go ahead and trinket trade first. Let's see what we get here. Ghost is kind of whatever. We'll just grab the Otterpuss. We can like attempt to Shrima Telstones next turn. But we're probably just gonna like play Ryze and then Unworthy Soul this guy and then destroy the weapon on him. We'll see. I'm kind of down to just destroy the stupid scout weapon. It's making me angry. The stupid scout weapon is making me angry. Another trick we could do here is we could do this. We could actually recall our landmark and then kill off this last unit. Yeah, let's go and try that. Let's do this. Recall their Pompous Cavalier, and then this way also they just don't have this as a threat this turn, unless they just want to like raw play it and have something that hits me for 2, which I just really couldn't care less about. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna kill off the combat cook here, hopefully, unless they have second combat trick, and they do. And they do, which is pretty good. But they don't really have too much after that. We still have a decent amount of stall here. I also could have, like, pranked to see if I could find the Sharesies in their hand. But it's okay. And like I said, we have oh, is this a second fish fight? Okay, so this is kind of scary now. Because we are taking 10 damage. Which does put us to 5. But we do have this Ryze. We can probably find a way to deal 2 damage with the Rune Prison here. That would be cool. We do have like Unworthy Souls, so we still have stall. Oh my lord. Okay, let's recall. Let's see what we find here. Cost +2. Let's just go ahead and give the Shepherd's thing +2 cost. Yeah, there really isn't too much we can do here. So let's just pass and see what our opponent does. So if they put this here and then this here, I don't actually kill anything with my Shrima Telstones, which is pretty rough. If they just open attack though, we can not die, which is good. Okay. I mean, it's fine by me. We can delve here. Spell mana is pretty good. Spell mana is pretty good. Can't get maximum. value out of it quite yet. Like if I could pre-commit the Telstones, but then they know about it, and that makes it less good, you know. We go and do something like this. Yep. And then so we can actually recall here like this. And then replay it and get our spell mana back and just be kind of chilling. Deny. Oh, this is kind of awkward. This is kind of awkward because we didn't delve, so we're actually 1 mana short of being able to live. Oh, wait, no. Yeah. Yeah, this is really awkward. But we can pretend like we have something. They have double deny in their hand. Are you serious? I pranked them and didn't see either deny. I mean, I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes they just like have double deny and you just don't have anything. But yeah, that matchup's really good for us. I don't really know why we sucked. I mean, we didn't see we saw 1 delve for like the entire early game, and they just had like combat trick after combat trick after combat trick. We just didn't have enough to stop it. We pranked them and didn't see either deny in their hand. Instead, we saw like fucking both weapons. So is what it is. Sometimes, again, your draws just like don't line up, and it sucks. Sometimes your draws don't line up and it sucks, and it's very frustrating. But you just kind of have to relax and stay cool and just play the next one. So like right there, that opening was really good. What could we have done different is also something you want to try to look back on. Right there, that game, I don't really know what all we could have done different. Like we baited out all of the fish fights. We could have just like stuck a Ryze, but I thought we like played pretty well. We forced them to just have spells. That's the sucky thing about closed deckless is you don't know like what type of combat tricks they're playing. You don't know, like if I knew they were playing deny, I probably could have played differently. I would have just like not played into the denies. Because at that point, so we know that their hand is just 100% spells. That's why they're only playing units. They're only playing units and attacking because their hand just has no more units. Their hand is only spells. So because it's closed deckless though, I don't know what these spells are. Like I don't know if I have to play around like Purpleberry Shake. I don't know if I have to play around like a second Sharesies. Obviously like, you know, Pokey Sticks or like what, you know, and deny is a thing. And so I like played incorrectly because I didn't know what my opponent's deck is, and that's just something you have to accept in closed deckless best of 1 ladder, is that sometimes you'll just make plays that make absolutely no sense due to how your opponent constructed their deck, and that's not your fault because closed deckless is stupid and is what it is. So overall, went 2-2. I'd like to get more games to show you guys like more sample size, because 2-2 sounds like kind of mopey, because it is. But I don't want to post like a 2-hour-long video because all of these games take like 10 to 15 minutes. So this video is already going to be like an hour long off of just those 4 games in the intro, right? So that's why I don't want to just play more games and show you guys that, oh, I went 2-2, but really I could like end the session like 6-2 or something, you know, or like 5-2, and just go on like a 3 or 4 game win streak, because I just don't want to have like a 2-hour-long YouTube video on my channel. So yeah, that's it for this video. This is the highest ranked, like I said in the intro, the highest ranking Ryze deck. This is Drizoth's deck. This is his build with it. We just ripped it straight off of the leaderboard. And I mean, it worked out. It seems pretty fine. The sapling toss is pretty good. It worked out better. You know, I was kind of skeptical about it, but it worked out pretty fine. And yeah, sometimes opponents just have cards. Sometimes you don't draw delves. We were extremely unlucky with not having a delve in our opening hand all 4 games. Like, let me open up a hypogeometric calculator. Actually, I'm not going to do all that because I don't want to make you guys wait even longer. But someone can do that, and in the comments down below, let me know what the odds are of having a delve in your hand. If you like full mulligan for it, let's say you mulligan all but 1 card, because we'll say you have like 1 card you want to keep, like a draw spell or something. So if you see 4, so if you see, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so you'll see 8 cards by turn 1, and you have 6 cards in your deck. What are the odds of hitting a 6 of in the first 8 cards of your mulligan? I would assume it's like ridiculously high, and the fact that we didn't get 1 out of 4 games is pretty silly. I think we had a delve on turn 3 like one of those games, and most of the time you like open with, but like here, let me just go into an AI game and show you guys that like this game we went 4 games without having one in the opening hand, and we'll probably get like 2 in this opening hand. And that's just how the Ryze deck goes sometimes. Like I said, I'm not gonna make you guys wait while I go through and find geometric calculator and pull it all up. So you just like hard mulligan, and Ta-da! Delve in our opening hand. Like, we very much have a delve by turn 3. We'll see if we get 2 delves by turn 3. And this is like more of what an average draw looks like. It's like, oh, some amount of card draw, some type of stall, and a delve, right? Like, oh yeah, good. Like early game, like cheap spells, a delve, and then a draw spell and a stall. So this is like what your average hand is supposed to look like. Oh, look at that, 2 delves by turn 3. So like, we are very clearly like low rolling our delves, all 4 of those games also. And we still managed to go 2-2 just because of the raw strength of this deck and the amount of stall it has. So all in all, I think this deck is really good. I hope this helped you look and try and find ways to play the deck that maybe you didn't know before. Like, again, the recalling the landmarks is a really big thing. How to mulligan, like, you want to be pretty aggressive and just not care most of the time because you are just this degenerate combo style deck. So you might as well just, like, mulligan and play like it. And I hope you guys enjoy this build of the deck. Like I said, I didn't make it. It's from Trissoth. And yeah, all that stuff. So I hope this video was very helpful to you guys. Hopefully this brings up the win rate of Ryze right now to above 50%. Or if it is 50% right now, higher. I don't know what it is right now. I think I've been looking, though. It's like 47, 48, 49. It's like barely under 50% when a lot of top players think this deck is just absolutely broken. So it's very interesting to see those stats and how they light up. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. Hopefully it helps you play this deck better, or hopefully it helps you know how to beat this deck. Because like I said in the intro, you know, I gave you guys the weaknesses and how to beat the deck, and hopefully you can exploit that if that's what you want to do. So that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe for the YouTube algorithm, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.